when I first just hopped a plane with a friend and we backpacked through Europe. I'd never been there before. That was when it was the 1992 Olympics in Barcelona. Oh, I know. Actually, we were going to stay in the hostels, and I went and looked at the conditions of one of the hostels, and I said, sorry, LMTC. Yes, the quote from Joey in Friends. So there I was, backpacking through Europe. But yeah, while I was there, we had a listing of all of the hostels in Europe. And we actually went and I looked at them, and they were so dirty and so just absolutely gross. There was like no bedding on the beds. They were the spring mattresses and bunk beds in like a humongous dormitory. I was like, no. I went and got a hotel. Someone got murdered here. Yes.
You're doing great out there.
And I mean, even worse, I mean, my traveling companion had his passport and his wallet stolen. He was pickpocketed in Barcelona on the metro. And after that, I was, we were in bad sorts. I had to have money wired to us in Europe because we ran out of money since I was the only one that had my wallet. And then later, when we returned to the US, the French police found his wallet in a trash bin. And they were like, oh, you need to come down to the police station and get it. And we were already back in the US. And I was just like, don't even bother, because he'd already replaced his passport and credit cards. But yes, that was my first adventure in Europe. I went back several times since. I lived in France for several months, worked in Spain. And that's when they get him into prison and never let him out. Yeah, there you go. Oh, I took my sister to Paris for her graduation from college. That was a fun trip. Made lots of mistakes on that trip. The reservations for the hotel were one day off. Fortunately, we still were able to get a place for the night. Oh, and I just looked. We have passed the 12-hour mark. We are on the downward climb. What it was. I can't even think of the phrase. So I won't say it because I'm gonna... Let's go. Yes. You're listing a bunch of reasons to never travel. Okay. As you know, LMTC, I have traveled many, many places. I have many, many stories.
Keep up the momentum, friend.
But to be honest, I really, after like the whole COVID thing and lockdown, I have less desire to travel as to stay home now. I really like being home. I like the animals. I like the desert. And the customs agents... Oh. Now, I have not had any experiences like that. Although I did have words with a, what is the, TSA, the Travel Security Authority. When I was doing an endurance ride in northern Nevada, and that's where you ride on horses for like 50 miles, I packed my bag and I had my helmet in the bag, and they decided that they were going to inspect my luggage after it went through the x-ray. And I mean, seriously, this lady, she was so rude. She pulls everything out, and then I had it packed really tightly so it all fit into a carry-on. And she's pulling all this stuff out, and she's like, I'll put it right back where I found it, which she didn't. And then I couldn't close my suitcase. And she got an attitude with me that I was like getting in her way, and I'm like, look, well, okay, so you almost got me to swear there, LMTC. And I was so upset that I had to completely repack my bag, and I almost missed my flight. So also the customs agents. So yeah, those type packers are usually hiding the Paco. Okay, so I was not hiding anything. I mean, obviously it was. Oh, you did it again? I mean, you already had one. You didn't need to do it again. Yeah. I was almost gonna call the TSA agent a very nasty word. Because she was. And when I used to commute back and forth from Phoenix to Orange County, I would fly out on Sunday or Monday morning. And I had the same thing. When I returned on a flight, I mean, seriously, there's this like subrail thing that goes to the cheap parking. And this TSA agent, there's like tons of empty seats. She gets on and she sits right next to me. And I'm like, really? Enough that I picked up my stuff and I moved to the empty seats. I'm like, really? You had to just sit right there. So I'm not a fan of the TSA. We know that the TSA agent was in superhero mode, was ready for a bonus.
Welcome back.
Alright, so I suppose we can get rid of him.
You're down a minion,
Get it.
up a goal.
Well, I suppose I should have done that after I bought a minion. Yay, we got an imp mama. Which one? We'll take rid of this.
You're down a minion and up a goal.
Buff the demons. Respin. Alright. PSA. Venom. Oh my gosh. Yeah, they get a little handsy. Oh my gosh. I mean, seriously. It's wrong. Wow. I don't know why the auto mod, I keep adjusting the settings because, to be honest, I don't care as far as the chat goes. I just didn't see it quickly enough so that all of your words would go in sequence to make more sense. But I get the gist of what was happening. So let me think. My most unusual customs experience was when I flew to the Indonesia or Bali. Well, Bali is in Indonesia. I mean, Bora Bora.
You can still make it.
So when I flew into the island of Tahiti, that was probably my most... It's just like the best experience. French Polynesia, it's a French protectorate, and they are very restrictive as to what you can bring on the island. I mean, it's like stepping back in time. If you've ever heard about Tales of the South Pacific, it was a book written by James Michener, and they did a lot of old movies and musicals on it. But it was about World War II, when all of the soldiers were stationed on the islands, and there's still like the cannons or the what were those? I didn't take the hike up to the top of the atoll, but yeah, there's just like a whole bunch of history there. That makes it easier. Come on, Philbit.
That's quite the army you're building, friend. I didn't like that one either. Here's a gold for the trouble.
I think Imp Mama is going to be better. Alright, so... And they do the x-ray, it's like, bro, you already saw my insides once. Quit making me go through it. Yeah, I know. I do not like the new x-rays. It's like, okay, stand up. I mean, it's very invasive, and to be honest, the amount of X-ray that they're doing now, it's a little excessive. And so I'm not keen on traveling anymore. And I'm happy that I traveled extensively throughout my life. I've turned into a complete homebody. Now I just like to be here and build my own little desert oasis here. Oh, I remember when I was working in Spain, I took a road trip to Portugal. Went through a lot of cities. Actually, I went through the city where they filmed one of the New Moon, the whole Twilight series. I went to that city where they filmed the Oh no, LMTC? No. I'm not antisocial. I am very much still social. And I mean, that's why I'm streaming. Because I still want to engage with people. People are my energy. I just don't want to travel and be away from the dogs, be away from you, be away from home. If I was antisocial, I would never do this. And boy, that would, I mean, I'd go crazy. I mean, if work was my only social interaction, no. So I like to be around people. I just am not as into traveling as I used to be. It used to be a big part of what I like to do, and now I prefer, yes, you are antisocial. I understand that. But I accept it. We complement each other that way. Alright, so let's do this.
A good tactical choice.
The ring of death.
What I hear you say is, okay. Never want to leave home again. No. No. I'm not saying that. But I just don't have the desire to travel to new locations like I used to. I only like certain homies, and they are in the exclusive club. I got you, Venom. Yeah. I see. It's just the opposite. Like, getting on stream and doing this, it's so energizing for me. I love everybody that I come across, and I come off of stream being like, you know, I just feel so happy with that. I feel like I can engage with people again. I mean, it's part of the reason that, you know, I don't want to travel again, because I'm getting that interaction that I have here online.
You can still make a comeback.
All right. Oh, this brings up another dad story. Okay, so as a child growing up, we used to always take a vacation. We would typically take one in the winter for spring break and one in the summertime, where we'd either like go to a cottage, or we used to rent a cabin up north, which is what I shared the picture of. So my father and mother were very social people, and they had a big network of friends. And every time we would go on a trip, we would run across somebody that they knew from a previous, you know, either a previous neighbor, somebody that they had encountered before. But it was the family joke that every time we took a family vacation is, who are we going to see on the vacation? All right, tier 6. Okay, finally get a Felbat. It's about time. All right, and Old Dog is saying that he has got to go outside immediately. Do that.
Looks like you can get a triple.
Another triple. That's good.
That's a great play. I can't wait to see this shake out.
This.
I like where you're
Felbat.
going with this. I like where you're going with this.
But keep up, Bob.
Offline. Harvesting, sir.
You're down a minion and up a goal.
Yeah, you know, there's some people that are. I agree. It's unfortunate. They can't all be wonderful people like us.
I think you can win this.
Old dog, it's not time for supper yet. You just finished breakfast. Yeah, you just have to wait, dude. Alright, so we're in the top 4. Not too bad. I normally would place a little higher with Jaraxxus, but it still was a good game. Alright, before I queue up the next game, I will let Old Dog go out since he is so insistent. So give me just 1 second, and I will be right back. Alright, I'm back. Old Dog is outside. We'll let him chill, and I put Puppers back in, I put the bed back where it's supposed to be, so it's on camera again. Alright. Hey, why don't I, since I've been talking more about my dad again, do a quick share of some more pictures. Some of my favorite pictures of me and my father. Let's see. Now, I have to preface this by saying that my dad was also a photographer. So when he passed away, I realized that a lot of the pictures that I have, he's never in them. So pictures of me and my father are actually very rare. But it also let me have a perspective of what my father saw. So I took those pictures that he had taken, and now it's like I could see what he was seeing when he was still alive. So it just made me realize that even though I didn't have pictures of me with him, I got to see his perspective. Oh, and here's one. All right. So This is a family picture of Smurf. Of course, I am the only blonde in the family. So yes, that's another Smurf. And I think I was almost 8 years old in this picture, so still in the 70s. But back in the days when you used to do like these yearly family portraits. Let's see. So this is a picture that my father took. I was in the Girl Scouts when I was younger. And this also was right around the age of 8. This was one of my childhood friends. But this was in the Brownies. We used to do Girl Scoutings. Girl Scouts. Alright, let me see what else I've got here. Hopefully I got another one with my dad. But like I said, it's very rare. Alright, here's another one my father took of me. I'll share. I did sell lots of cookies. Actually, I won the award for the most cookies sold. Yep, there. Me in my little Girl Scout uniform, a picture my dad took. And yes, I was one that set the ridiculous sales goals, and I beat all of them. Yep, I don't mind embarrassing myself on stream. Oh, okay, here's a funny one. When I was younger, my dad bought a boat. And we used to go up, and we had this sled. And this was a funny picture. My dad did not take it, because he's obviously in the picture driving the boat. But we used to ride this sled out on the lake. So there's my dad driving the boat, and me on the sled. Kind of a weird photo to just have my dad's face in the photo. Yeah, my mother is a horrible photographer. You would think that with multiple photographers in the family that she would be able to take a picture. No. You can tell when you handed the camera. Yeah, I do have a I actually have, what is it? It's not a photographic. It's the same thing that Sheldon always talks about in Big Bang Theory, but I'm very tired right now and I cannot think of the term. It's just shy of photogenic. All right. That's not too interesting. There is... Alright, I'll see if I can find one more real quickly. Hopefully that has both me and my dad. Oh wow, here's another really old one. Alright, so my sister actually took this photo. When we were growing up, we had foster children that came through our family. And this is a picture of my mom and my dad and me when I started growing long hair. And one of our foster children who lived with us for 8 years. Let's see, that's not coming through very well. A little bit of a glare. But yes, very funny. But I don't know what ever happened to her. She was with us for quite a long time. Until she grew, once she hit 18, then she left the program and went into like self-care. When did I become a metalhead? Oh, I can tell that story. So, my father was actually very into music, and when he was in Vietnam, oh, here's Glasses Smurf. One last photo. So this is in The ninth grade. Oh, I can't even get the photo out, so I can't share it. So, anyways, my dad was the one that got me into music, and I really leaned towards the heavy metal rock music, even from the very start. He was the one that, like, kind of encouraged that. Not because he was so much into rock and heavy metal, but because he just appreciated music of all types. So he and I used to listen to music constantly, and it was a conversation point for the two of us. I grew up playing the piano and violin. I used to practice the piano before I went to school. And if my father had just come home from work and had worked a 24-hour shift, I felt so bad that I was practicing the piano in the house downstairs right below his bedroom where he was probably still sleeping. But he was okay with it. He actually said, you know, you can practice in the morning. And that was what started my love of music. But the more I played, the more I leaned towards the heavy metal and rock music. And I just liked that style of music. I had a brief phase where I liked country music, but I only liked it because it was fun to go out dancing. And that was it. All right. Let me go back to some games. See if we can do better than 4th place.
Nice work out there. Keep up the pressure.
Oh, and I'll shout out to LMTC, who used to sing in a band. Has an exceptional voice. So he also is a big fan of rock and heavy metal music, just like I am. We're both big fans of Avenged Sevenfold. I'd say that's probably one group that we both really like. He introduced me to Avenged Sevenfold. And we got to go see them in concert, which was fun. Although a bit hot. That concert was insanely hot. And the funny thing was, he lost his driver's license when we went to that concert, and we didn't find it for a year and a half. It got lost in my truck. And then magically, we went to the DMV to try to get a new license for him. And when we went out, then we found it in the truck. Just opened the door, and there it was, down in the seat. And Korn was awesome. Yes, definitely even better than Avenged Sevenfold. I would say Avenged Sevenfold was terrible in concert. I was really disappointed in them. I think I'll do him. So, yeah, Korn was fabulous.
What's your strategy this time, partner?
I don't know. I think Korn, they're two different, like, eras. Korn, I mean, they're married and have kids. Avenged Sevenfold, they're at the start of, they're just still growing. They don't have as big a following as Korn. Korn are more experienced performers and know how to put on a good show and how to engage the crowd. Avenged Sevenfold just didn't have that show presence, in my opinion. I mean, they still sounded good, but they tried to play too much of their new stuff. In fact, I think we ended up leaving in the middle of Avenged Sevenfold so that we could get out before all the traffic. Yeah, LMTC, I agree.
Your minions really pulled their weight.
I think they saw concerts just as a part of it. They were more about... I think they were more concerned about their music videos, to be honest. And then they went through their Metallica phase. That was just rather annoying. They haven't done anything in quite some time. Alright, Puppers is starting to get bored. You've got 2.5 hours, Puppers. We're gonna make it. We're gonna do this. Oh, do you remember the big fire hose that they were spraying the crowd down with because of the heat? Yeah, I wasn't a fan. Like, no thank you. I mean, why can't we have like a nice sit-down dinner and good food and good wine and listen to good music? I would rather go to a concert that way than, I mean, now don't get me wrong. When I was 21, I went in the mosh pits for Stone Temple Pilots, and I experienced all of that as well. But I would much rather have a good dinner and listen to music, even rock music. I really like some of the live bands that I've met around here. Oh, I know! Oh my gosh, it was so weird. I mean, this lady just went off. I mean, yeah. I mean, obviously I'm not interested, but people were just strange. No, I would prefer a small, intimate setting. Like, I went to one concert for Dream Theater, a really nice old band. And it was in a small venue, and you got to get up close and listen to the music, and there was drinks and food available where you could enjoy the whole experience and not just sit there, you know, being crowded. So I will admit that the mosh pit at Stone Temple Pilots, I came out and I was bruised and you're just dripping wet, and it was disgusting sweat, and we had to drive back home from Detroit, Michigan. I was just like, oh my gosh. No, thank you. I've been there, done that. There's been some interesting characters. Also, I don't like when you're packed in there. I mean, people just think that they can, like, touch women inappropriately. I'll leave it at that. But it was so disgusting. I was ready to, like... Ugh. I won't even go into it. It's just, like, terrible. No, it's not. So, that's the other reason. I prefer to keep my distance.
Welcome back. How's it going out there?
Alright, so let's go ahead and spin. See what else we got.
You're down a minion and up a goal.
I did like during all the COVID and the virtual stuff when they had some virtual concerts and people played online. I had a couple of friends who are very musically inclined, and they did some online concerts. I have one band that I photographed a few years ago that they regularly play live, and they do acoustic guitar and vocals. Also really good. And they're also big hikers in the Arizona desert. And they were the ones that they always get some of the first rattlesnakes. So going back to the original question that kind of got to why I am so into music. So when I was playing piano, and then I learned violin while I was young. My dad was very supportive of that endeavor. He had my little sister play, but she was not very good.
Nice work out there.
I love my sister to death, but she was not musically inclined at all. She never really got the piano and just didn't have the same knack for it that I did. Which is funny, we're very different people. She is completely... I tried to tutor her in calculus when she was in college. And yes, but she had to take calculus. She had to take at least 1 year of calculus to get her degree. She's a history major. She got a degree in history and focused on the Salem witch trial era, which I found really interesting. But I tried to tutor her in calculus, and I was in my 5th year of engineering school and getting ready to write my thesis, and I tried to walk her through, you know, just basic integrations within calculus, and oh my gosh, I wanted to bang my head against the wall because it just made no sense what they were teaching her. It was like dumbed down calculus. And I'm like, how can you not have a constant? Where's the constant? When you integrate something, you have a constant. And they just ignored the constant, which could then, if you did a second integration, was going to mean you had a whole variable that was missing. And we went back and forth on it. She's like, but there's no constant. And I'm like, but there is. Can't ignore the constant. I know. Okay. So you are technically inclined. You understand what I say from a math person, an engineer, who I had 5 years of calculus and differential equations and all of matrix algebra and all this kind of stuff. When I'm trying to do an integration and I don't put the constant, I am like, your further down equations are all gonna be wrong. And we just went off, and she was almost in tears, and I was so frustrated. So it just goes to show that family should not coach family. I mean, just plain and simple, don't do it. You're better off buying a tutor. I was just trying to help her. So I went back to just being the cool sister who brought alcohol to my minor sister in college. Yeah, my sister was a little, you know, rebellious. They like to all blame it on me, but it was really her. She had more parties and came home drunk more times than I ever did. And my dad just laughed at us. I mean, my dad was so cool about it. My dad would give us beer and wine. We grew up drinking wine with dinner all the time. From the time I was 8 years old, we always had wine. That's why I'm such a big fan of wine now. But my dad just... Let's see, what does that say? Satum? I don't know what that is. I thought I just wasn't seeing it correctly, but it doesn't make any sense. But yeah, my dad was... Damn. Alright, I'm doing better. Okay, gotcha.
You're doing great out there.
Oh, so... Oh, that... For some reason, that prompted another dad story. Okay. So, my dad was a very big fan of automobiles. That's why he was really proud of me when I got my engineering degrees at what used to be General Motors Institute, then turned into Kettering University and GMI. But he always wanted me to go to that school. I wanted to be an engineer, so it aligned with what I wanted to do and what my dad hoped for me. And then I got a job at General Motors, and he was ecstatic because when you work for General Motors, you get a discount on automobiles. And automobiles and cars of all types were a big passion of my father's. He bought more new cars than even I do. So LMTC, it was almost a year, every year he'd have a new car. So he was a big fan of me being a General Motors employee so that he got the General Motors discount. But before that, while I was still young, my very first car... hurts your brain so bad. Alright, so my very first car was a Datsun this little compact car stick shift, and my dad bought it from one of the other firefighters at the station because they all kind of collaborated, and one of them sold this used car, and he brought this used car home, and because of the caliber of car my father always drove, when I came home and it was in the garage, I'm like, I came home with my mother that day and I was like, did Dad get a bad rental car? And I just laugh because I was like, oh my gosh, there's this little pale blue Datsun sitting next to this brand new car. And I'm like, what the heck is that? And they were like, no, that's your car. And then I was like, really? I was only 15 years old when they gave me the car. But it was so cool of my dad to go out and get my first new car. And because it was a stick shift, that was the first car that I learned to drive. And not many people nowadays know how to drive a manual transmission car. That's all the big joke on social media is if you want to stump a millennial, give them a stick shift to drive. And my Corvette was also a manual transmission, the Z06 that I had the accident with. And as soon as it becomes available, I plan to order the new Z06. I'm just waiting till General Motors opens up the, there we go. There, perfect. It got the buff. But I fully intend to be one of the first drivers of the new Corvette. I'm going to replace my 2006 Z06 with a 2023 Z07. I'm going to do the Z07 because that's why I want to order it. Because only if you order it can you get the additional spoiler that's going to be on the top. And then I'm pretty much just going to store it. And just drive it, maybe some road trips or something like that. I mean, this is the longest in my life that I've gone without having a Corvette.
Don't tell the others. I'm rooting for you.
So anyways, my father got me the Datsun when I was 15 years old. So by the time I got my license on May 6th of that year, he got the car in the wintertime. So he parked it in the garage and I got to clean it up and, you know, learn how to like wax and care for all the upholstery in the car, and it was all fixed up. We got the clutch fixed because it was a little, it was like you could manually adjust the clutch in those cars in that genre. Oh, a Dodge Challenger. Yeah, I have a couple of friends at work that have a Dodge Challenger. They say they're really nice. I've always been a Corvette fan. That's definitely my favorite. Tons of Corvettes. Alright, we didn't make any progress. EU is a little more difficult. You want a DeLorean? Is that just because of Back to the Future? I thought you wanted a Tesla. The Tesla 3. Alright. I think I'll take Ticketus. Could take Murgleton. But I could be stuck with a really bad hero car. I think Ticketus will be fine. You want a Tesla too? So where are we going to squeeze all these cars in? There's not enough room to park them. I have to build a new garage. Well, to be honest, I just want to get a reliable water source first. Our extra garage? Oh, okay. That phantom garage with the built-in workshop that's not built yet.
What's your strategy this time, partner?
All right. So it's a passive. I don't know. I haven't played Murlocs all day, so why don't we play Murlocs? See if the game will give us Murlocs. That is the weirdest battle cry.
Don't tell the others. I'm rooting for you.
Right? Obviously, he's playing Murlocs too.
The battle's
Okay.
really raging out there.
I don't want to play demons again. Just gonna level and see what happens. So now getting close to 13 hours of 2 hours remaining. I am absolutely astonished that this stream has not been interrupted by internet outages. I think that is amazing. No internet outages, no power outages, you know, knock on wood, knock on wood.
Nice work out there. Keep up the pressure.
All right, there's a Murloc. A Murloc.
It's good to get some minions in play.
No Murlocs. All right. So I also have a special affinity for the Corvette that I mentioned quite frequently, my Z06. That was the last car that I purchased, and my dad got to drive. He had just been diagnosed with cancer at that time. Fortunately, he wasn't strong enough to even be able to drive it. He stalled it out. The clutch on the Corvette was exceptionally difficult to press down, and he had just gone through chemotherapy. So it was kind of a painful memory for me, but yeah, that car was particularly special for me because it was the last car that I purchased that my father got to see. I had intended to keep that car forever. I'll use that buff a little bit later. That's why I definitely want to replace it. I still have the truck. The truck, it was funny. He had just come home on May 7th, so the day after my birthday in 2007. And they flew into Phoenix from Seattle, Washington, where he was going through treatment with a specialist. It was like there's 2 doctors in the world who had treated his type of cancer. And we paid to have him go live in Seattle, Washington and undergo treatment until there was just nothing more they could do. And he came home and he stayed overnight at my house in Phoenix. And then the next day I drove him and my mom down to Phoenix, or down to Tucson, which is about 2 hours south.
You're good at this.
And we were driving the back roads in the truck, and my dad, you know, is not accustomed to not driving. My father used to always drive us, but with his condition, there was no way that he could do that. And we're driving down the back highway to his North Tucson home, and this big bug came flying right at the windshield. and I could see it coming, and I ducked in the truck to avoid having the bug hit me on the windshield, and my dad just cracked up laughing. He's like, "Oh, you think that's gonna make a difference?" But it was just one of the last times that we got to laugh and joke about things and life. So yeah, it was kind of funny, but I'll always remember driving him down to Tucson. It was obviously a very short time between that. It was 15 days exactly between that experience and when he passed away.
Keep up the momentum.
I went down because Mother's Day was the weekend after, and chemotherapy and radiation treatments really affect your taste buds. And my father complained that my mother's cooking was so bland, and he wanted me to come down and cook Mother's Day meal because he wanted to actually taste something. And so I happily obliged. I made jalapeno poppers, bacon wrapped jalapenos, stuffed with cream cheese. And it was one of the first things he tasted in a while. And then he likes Coca-Cola was his favorite drink, and he liked grenadine with the Coke. So I just loaded up the grenadine in the Coca-Cola. And he was like, you know, at this point, it doesn't matter. Just enjoy life and have fun. So we got to barbecue that last weekend for Mother's Day, and my father was there. Unfortunately, when it gets down to the end, that was the last weekend that we really got to spend with him. And I won't get too morose, so I'll stop talking about those last weeks, but they're very vivid in my mind. Not much I can do here. So we'll go up against Blackthorn. All right, 8 minutes away till hour 13. And Puppers is stretching as a result. I don't think she's impressed. I don't know what I'd have to do to impress that little dog. Obviously, streaming is not it.
Any defeat that doesn't destroy you.
Okay. I want to play Murlocs, but it's not giving me Murlocs. Oh, there we go. There's a Murloc. Come on, Murlocs. That's not a Murloc. How can people stream this long and still be talkative? Okay. So, Onos, when it was at the 11-hour mark, I was really dragging. I could not think of anything to say. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm trying to keep it all positive. I don't want to talk about the actual week when he passed away, because it's really bad. But for today, anytime I don't have something to talk about, I just think back to all of the wonderful memories that I have with my father. And once I think about those, I could talk for hours. And it's been really cool that I can share this kind of stuff and talk about it and have a theme. It's very, I guess it'd be cathartic almost, because there's a lot of good memories, there's a lot of pain, but I'm happy to share it so I can still talk about it. And LMTC will know that I can talk about my dad quite a bit. He was a really incredible person.
Have a good battle, friend.
Yeah, yes, I can. I mean, it's amazing just what a person he was, and just how, I mean, he influenced so many lives and outside. Not just within the family, but outside the family as well. he helped, he would take in everybody. He never judged people. He always took people at face value. And that's something I always admired about him. But oh, and this is something I did get from my father. I could go into any environment, any room. I think that's why streaming comes pretty naturally to me. Is I can just jump into a room, and by the end of the night, I will know everybody in that room. And I am so energized by talking to people, and that's something my father used to do. He would go in and he just introduce himself and just meet people in a room. I do this like in the local stores. Every time I establish like this little network, I knew the lady that runs the cheese counter at Fry's. I met the person that runs the wine bar at Fry's, and now she's the one that gets me my bulk discount when they have 25% off cases or 6 bottles of wine in the sales. So it's just something that he did, and I acquired that talent as well. But I will say that now that it's getting to the end of the stream, my plays are terrible, and I'm playing on EU because I was making some really bad plays, and I'm not thinking very clearly on my plays. So it's probably best that I just play on EU, which isn't my normal. And now that I've found is very standard to people that when they stream late like this. Is you just get kind of brain dead at the end, and I am very tired. Right. Oh, another dad story. Let's see. After 6 hours of anything, you start to fall off. Yeah. Oh, exactly. I noticed that I was starting to decline at hour 9, where my play was not near as attuned to what needed to be done. So, no, I need Murlocs. Come on, Murlocs. Back. Having to mouse over because I'm not remembering all of them. Alright, so we need that one. I want this one's. But I will say that this has been the absolute best way that I could have done a memorial for my father. And I am so glad that Venom kind of prompted the memory, or prompted the idea of doing a long extended stream. It has been a great experience so far. And we're gonna finish this off strong.
You're doing great out there.
So, a little more information about my father. My father was a Vietnam veteran. So he served 2 years overseas in Vietnam. And then he came back and was stationed in Osable, Michigan. And that's where he was stationed there, and he worked the night shift.
Nice
And
workout.
he went on a blind date with my mother, and that's how they met. And he fell asleep in the movie theater and snored very loudly. My father was known for snoring very loudly. In fact, one year we went up to Drummond Island, which is an island in northern Michigan. And my father and I were delegated to the camper, the van camper that we had that converted into a bed. I slept on the floor in a sleeping bag, and he was sleeping on the couch extended, and he was snoring so loudly, but he had his hand over the edge of the bed, and it kept waking me up. And I shook his hand to wake him up because I couldn't sleep with the snoring. And he came around like this, and it was like, you know, it's that first 30 seconds when somebody's woken up. And I'm like, no, please stop snoring. He just, when he realized what was going on, he laughed, I laughed. And I was like, okay, I'm not sleeping with my dad in the camper truck anymore. But yeah, he had a deviated septum. He'd gotten hit in the nose and eventually had surgery for it to correct it. But yes, another funny story. Camping with Dad.
I'll save these ones for later.
I became a very sound sleeper after that. Could sleep through anything.
You're doing great out there.
Oh, my dad also used to coach football. He coached football for my uncles. So he coached high school football. And let's see, and he used to run track. Oh my gosh, my dad was fast. He was a sprinter. He played a wide receiver when he played football, and he had a lot of, just incredible what he could do. I'm definitely not a sprinter. I run long distances, and LMTC can attest to the fact that I do not run very fast. But I can run forever. And I did enter the 5K on June 4th. It's in honor of the Yarnell firefighters. So I am going to run the 5K. I'm going to go up to Yarnell. It starts at 6:30 a.m. in the morning. It's about 45 minutes from the house here. What is that? At the end of your turn, the Murloc to your left of this triggers its battle cry. Alright, so let's reposition that. So give your Murlocs +2/+2. My dad was a sprinter. He's still skinnier than me. I think he's 6'4", 180. Oh my gosh. Yeah, my dad was the same thing. He was super skinny. That was the joke when he went into the Air Force and went through basic training. He actually gained weight in basic training, which was really rare. Yet when he was growing up, my grandmother actually passed away when he was only 14 years old. Oops, missed one. What is that?
That's quite the army you're building.
So my father when he was
Win this thing.
8, I might have the years off, but from 8 until my grandfather remarried when he was in Vietnam. So there was just 3 guys. So my grandfather, my uncle, and my dad. So for a good portion of when my dad was growing up, he had a really, just like, didn't have regular meals. He lived in the Bronx in New York City. Used to work odd jobs.
Back up and turn it around.
Discover one from tier 6. Murloc. Mech. Finn. I don't want him. Seafin. Yes.
That'll do some damage.
Get rid of him. Discover a Murloc. Alright, that'll be a triple. Play him. Get rid of him. He doesn't need to be there. Tier 6. Manted Queen could come in handy. So another tier 6. Another one of her. Alright, let's get a Murloc. Let's seep in. Alright, so I'm going to... I do want a triple seep in. Alright, so yeah, my dad grew up in the Bronx in New York City. So he was a very big movie buff. And he used to sneak in the back of the movie theaters and sit and watch movies all day. So he'd pretty much just go in the exit, sneak in after the movie had started. Nobody ever caught him. All the kids, you know, would do that kind of stuff. It was one of those, played stickball in the streets. They lived in like the 8th story in the apartment buildings. And if the kids would actually turn on the fire hydrants in the summer when it was really hot out, and they would play in the water. But if the water pressure dropped, people in the upper stories of the apartments would have no water. And the women and the families used to come down and just complain and yell at them. The kids didn't care. They'd just run off and go home. But it was always so unusual for me to hear the stories of him growing up in New York City. Because it was so different than what I experienced. Yeah, she's off the bed. Alright, we got 4th place. Let's try again. Okay, enough with the achievements, yes. Alright, we have hit the 13-hour mark. We're on the downward slide, I guess it would be. So, boy, I can think now. 1 hour and 53 minutes left. Math is tough. That's interesting. Why does... What would normally be there that's not there? Alright. Pyramid or Trade Prince Galliwex? What is... I think I'm gonna play Pyramid. Why not? So we have demons, elementals, mechs, Naga, and pirates. Of course there's Naga. Essentially, I just look at what the other stuff is. Alright, Pyramid it is. She just came over and sat next to me. And she's looking at me like, are you done yet? Like, enough already? Gotta wait, puppers. Sorry. Alright. This looks like we're going to do demons.
I'll save these ones for later.
Alright, so I got another dad story. I can use this last hour to get all my stories out. So, my father is the reason that I have my first horse. So, my aunt had horses. She had Tennessee Walkers. Tennessee Walkers are different than the horses that I currently have because they're gated, which means they don't do like walk, trot, canter. Oh, must be minutes left. Oh no, it's 1 hour and 51 minutes left. So she had Tennessee Walkers because she was fascinated by these high-stepping horses and all of that stuff. So she had 7 horses and she decided to buy this old farmhouse in Michigan. And my father rewired this old farmhouse and brought it up to code. Now, the neat thing about firemen, where they typically had their day job, which is the firefighter, and then they had a secondary job. And my dad studied electricity, like with an electrician, and helped to wire our first house in Michigan that we lived in, and then rewired my aunt's house. So as a thanks for doing it, instead of paying him, which really would have been a good thanks, but it wouldn't have got me into horses, she gave him the foal to be of one of her mares. So my first horse was born on April Fool's Day, 1981. His name was Blaze. And we thought that my aunt was pranking us, that the foal had been born. And my parents actually hung up on her saying, it's... Oh my gosh, she did. The gift of surprise, just like The Witcher. Oh my gosh. I never thought of that. Thank you. So, we got the gift of surprise was my first horse. So born April Fool's Day, 1981 at 3 a.m. in the morning. And that little horse took me everywhere. I taught a gaited horse to trot. We did dressage. We did jumping. We took a national championship. Just all sorts of things. But that was how I started in the horse world. I'd always wanted a horse until then. So when he got the horse, I was excited beyond belief. And then they found a barn to board the horse. They found a trainer who I'm still friends with to this date. I learned to ride. Now, when I learned to ride, I actually had to overcome some pretty significant fear of riding, because this same aunt had decided to take it upon herself to teach me how to ride. And she did a very poor job of it. She put me on a horse that was way too big for me. I couldn't even, my feet didn't even reach the stirrups. I was riding in this back field, and oh, there goes Peppers. And across the field, the farmer like started up this old tractor. It made all these noises. The horse I was riding spooked, ran, jumped over a fence, ran through a whole bunch of stuff, and I'm just gripping and trying to, you know, keep my balance. Ran all the way around back to the entrance gate of the barn. The gate was shut. I went flying off the horse over the top of the gate. And from that point on, I never got to get back on a horse. So when I started riding, so that was when I was 7 years old, and I started riding when I was 10. Again, after my horse had already been born and I was getting ready to teach him how to go under saddle. So my trainer put me on a lunge line with a horse, which just the horse goes around in a circle. And I practiced learning how to stay on the horse, be comfortable on a horse. And that fear, I was able to overcome that fear and then go on and continue riding. But just that little event was so traumatic that it took me months of lessons to get over it. But thanks again to my father. He was like, if you're gonna have a horse, you better be able to ride it. So I'm gonna risk it. Oh, bugger. I knew I was gonna give it to that one. Should have sold it. So fast forward many years later, and I ride a lot more. Very comfortable riding. Though I will say I'm not going to ride the young horses anymore. I'll save that for the professionals and, you know, the young kids who think they're professionals. Those who bounce back from a fall more easily than I do.
Everyone's gunning for you. Watch out.
Alright, 100% win. Dan Chick. Alright.
You're good at this.
So, let's... I could still use him for the one that consumes a demon and steals their stats, so it's not a complete
Better hire a
loss.
recruit while you can.
This,
It's not the
play
stuff,
this.
but it'll fight hard.
What's up, puppers? What are you doing? I know I still have the headset on. Sorry. Okay, I don't think she's a fan of 15-hour streams. Fortunately, I don't do this all the time. So, 1 hour and 44 minutes left. Come on. No. Over here. No.
Keep up the momentum, friend.
Puppers is like, you've been doing this all day. Exactly. And it has been all day. I mean, seriously. When I first started at 4 a.m., she was in here sleeping. She slept for an hour and a half. The first part of it. But it has been all day. That's good. It's fine. This has been a lot of fun, and I've really enjoyed it. And it's good to know that I can do it. And it's been fun to do this on the Memorial Day. Okay, puppers, come on. Hey. You're getting tangled up in the cords. That's not good. No. You cannot sit there. Alright. Stop. Don't lick me. She's like, I will sit here and annoy you until you move. Alright. I am not gonna save for that. We're going against Marino Jackson. Oh, okay, lay down. So, yes, normally, if any lurkers out there, I like to stream early mornings. Normally I start, at least 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. Sometimes in the afternoons. But work normally gets in the way, so I can't stream. Fortunately, this fell on a Sunday so that I could dedicate all this time to hanging out with everybody, playing some BGs, and generally just having fun. It's very enjoyable to me to revisit a lot of these good memories. So I thank everyone that's joined me today for this memorial. It does mean a lot to me to talk about my father since he was such a big part of my life. Yeah, exactly. Thanks, Hist. Glad to know you're still there. I will probably have to adjust those hours as it gets into summertime, because we need to have those early morning cool times for running and training and getting the puppies out. All those activities that we can't do when it gets hot. Oh, bugger. Did it again. Seriously. I need the one that's going to take care of that. So we'll get him next. But yeah, that 6 o'clock hour has been pretty consistently when I've been able to get online. I've tried to keep work out of it, but it's getting increasingly more difficult. Because now I've already lost Wednesdays. I'm meeting with an offshore team at 6:30 a.m. on Wednesdays. And it's the only time I can meet with them, and it is important. So every other week, I'm not going to be able to stream on Wednesdays now. But hopefully today's stream will make up for it. So we got a little bit of, you know, Smurf time in the bank. And the cool thing about this is, like, it's all recorded. Twitch automatically records each of the streams. So I can go back and take little pieces of it. Oh yeah, Hist. LMTC is going to coach me on Diablo 2. So I'm going to plan that sometime in the next week or so. So we're going to retry playing Diablo 2.
Your minions really pulled their weight.
All right.
Looks like you can get a triple.
All right, we'll freeze that. All right, I'm just going to sell him because if I wait forever, that's never going to happen. There we go. And LMTC did appear when I did my virtual star party. I know. He's definitely not interested in streaming. It's funny because you were talking about doing a podcast, and then we put together that green screen, and then you never did anything with that. And then I was online and I saw Heart Queen, and I started watching Heart Queen when I really started paying attention to Twitch. And then I started following Heart Queen in July, and then coming into December, I was like, you know, I should try this. Why don't I go ahead and live stream? So I was on vacation. I took off like 5 weeks and was just like, oh, I should start streaming. And the few times that I streamed, I was like, oh, this is awesome. I love it. So let's see. The question is, do you have your say? Of course he does. Podcast is different than live stream. Oh, and between LMTC and I, yeah, there's very little influence as to what we do. We pretty much both do whatever we feel like doing. So that's one. There's, you know, it's just what it is. Oh, I didn't know that you had other people that you were going to podcast with. Unless you're saying that's me and I missed the ball, which I apologize.
That's a great play. I can't wait to see this shake out.
Another satisfied.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I know. One of them moved to Missouri, and I don't know what happened with the other one, so that's a bummer. Wow. Okay. Well, that answers that question. Alright, so
I didn't like
get
that.
another triple.
Here's a goal for the triple. A good tactical choice.
Naga, we'll get a few Nagas. Alright, Puppers has completely laid on my feet under the chair. Really? In the final stretch, we are! Oh my gosh, it's an hour and 35 minutes. I can do math again. It's a good thing.
Just a peek.
Spite outlives the spiteful.
Don't tell the others.
What would have been the podcast topic? I don't know. What were you were thinking? You had a lot of interesting topics. Venom? No. Just no. I'm so tired right now. My eyes are like so scratchy. I'm having trouble reading chat. Yeah, there's no way I could go 20 more hours. Oh, thank you. That's so sweet. Actually, I am feeling a little bit better than I did 4 hours ago. At the 4-hour mark, I was like, oh my gosh, am I going to be able to do this? Like 4 hours ago, because it was really slow. And that's when I decided to switch to EU so that I wasn't concerned about playing well and I could just focus on the stream itself and talk. And that was the real change. Let's see. One Nation under Smurf. Maybe that's my old dog. Oh my gosh. Oh, so funny. Yes. All hail old dog. What is the little sign? All hail old dog? I'm gonna start that. That's gonna be the beginning of my stream now. All hail old dog. Alright, so there's a Fellbat. Over a Naga. There we go. This picture shows up forever. Yep. I'll have to do that. I'll have to do some animation. I'll get a picture of old dog. That'll be the new start of stream. All hail old dog. It's funny because now he has started to respond to old dog more so than his name. He has a name. His name is Buster. And for those who are not familiar with old dog actually is significant to this day because I adopted old dog the week after my father passed away. And that was 15 years ago. And they told me that he was 3 years old. So he was 3 years old 15 years ago when he first came to live with us. Now, old dog had the distinction of he would always come out and he would jump over the gate to come into the horse area at the old house. But all I had to do is put a PVC pipe over the gate and he stopped jumping it because the pipe would slip and he would fall. Not to mention that the fence to the right-hand side of the gate was much slower, but he would not jump the fence. He would only jump the gate. Go figure. It's old dog logic. So old dog traveled with us to California and lived with us in a 1-bedroom apartment. We had 3 dogs, including him, in a 1-bedroom apartment, 500 square foot, while I was working at Blizzard. Okay? He then traveled back with us. One of my dogs unfortunately passed away while we were in California. That was Misha. He was a phenomenal dog I'd had for quite some time. Not as long as old dog. But Buster and Dozer came back to Arizona with us from California. And then progressed on. We lived in a trailer, a 17-foot trailer for 6 months. And we survived. And we're still together, so LMTC and I have been together for 10 plus years now. and have endured quite a bit, and Old Dog has been with us through all of it.
Don't tell the others. I'm rooting for you.
So now, Old Dog has come to this house. He has outlived all the other dogs that we've had. And then we got Puppy, so Aloon. And he is, he's just going about his thing, being happy Old Dog. Alright. Do I want these or not? Might get a triple. No, I think I am going to sell this one. Okay, we'll get a triple Fellbat. That's nice. There's 6. An Imp Mama. Alright. I think I'm gonna get rid of him.
You're down a minion and up a goal.
That. Play him. Alright, so let me think about this. So yes, now that I remember correctly, Old Dog came to live with me just after my father passed away. So, also very significant. Alright, an hour and 28 minutes. I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna do it. I mean, at this point, been going since 4 a.m. I'm actually kind of surprised that I've made it this far. I didn't know what this was going to be like to stream for a long bit of time. Alright, so 100% win, so we're in good shape here. Obviously, it's against the dead dude, but either way. Boy, these lobbies seem to be a little bit more difficult than I would think they would be. Alright. Him for the buff. Yay, another triple. Though he hasn't had all the buffs. Six. Seriously? No. No demons. Ouchie. Sell him. Let's spin, see what we get. Nothing. Alright, so I want the buff from the Fellbat, so I'm going to go ahead and play the demon. But I'm going to... Not sure how to position these. I think I want this over here. Move that over there. See how that plays out. We're going against Rek'Thar with Naga. Oh, sorry. Had the phone on the charger. It only just showed up on the iPad LMTC. Alright, so yes, we definitely want food. So it normally takes about an hour for DoorDash to get a delivery out here. So if we could try to time it so that it comes at end of stream, that's going to work the best. Will that be a possibility? It's okay, you can talk about food on stream. Oh wow, we won! What time is end of stream? So it'll be in an hour and 25 minutes. So what time is it now? Oh, it's 5:30, so it's going to be at 7. So I'd like to have food at 7 so we can plan for that. Need more demons. All right, perfect. Well, might as well buy it. So I always leave 1 gold left over just in case it like brings up minions that I want. I would hate to see the Fellbat make them be eaten. Aw, Puppers is resting her head on my shoes. Now I feel bad. She's like, oh, what are you doing to me? I'll make it up to her tomorrow. Since we're gonna have the well, I guess I'm gonna have to rearrange my whole day. It's going to be impossible to work. Oh, and I'm top 4! I just realized that. Yay!
I think you can win this
Let's
thing.
see. I'm bringing it up now because we have to order ahead of time for it to arrive on time. Gotcha. Okay, so I can take a quick break and I will come by. Great, I will come over to you and let you know what I want. What do you think, Thai or Mexican? Those are the two that I'm leaning towards. Of course, I always like Mexican food. There's no question about that. But I think Thai food is more healthy. Oh, well, I took him out. All right, we're in the top 3 at least. Maybe more. Oh, we're in the top 2. We're in first place.
Your
All right.
players really
Not bad.
right.
All right, so let's buff the minions. Already got mostly triples.
Go ahead and hire one of these recruits.
He only got 4 health and I've got 17. He's got Naga, but my demons are pretty buff. There we go. We got another one. Here's 6. Ugh, no demons. Let's go ahead and play him. I think he might give us some benefits. Alright, so what did he have? Possibly could take somebody out. Got Divine Shield and a lot of Naga. He's going to be much bigger than that. I don't know, the demons with the Fellbat could hold out. I had Mexican today. I don't know. Mexican's like my go-to comfort food. I mean, like some nachos would be divine. But if I want to be healthy, I mean, I am conditioning for a triathlon. So I really should think, I mean, I obviously have sat here since 4 a.m. today. So I didn't exercise today. So maybe I should be a little more prudent on getting some healthy food instead of buying junk food. I mean, especially since we did smoked ribs yesterday, which were divine. They were so good. Oh my gosh, it was down to 1 health. Ugh. Alright, so he's... I'm still in the first place, but I don't think I have anything that can take that.
Battle is really
I could pull the Manted Queen, because she'll get poison. That might be an option. Velvet's already golden, so that's not going to help. Why did I do that? To get a poison in there.
Go ahead and hire one of these recruits.
Oh, we'll get another
Hire
imp
a
mama.
recruit while you can.
In case we have one more turn. Oh. I think we'll have to sell him. Super healthy. Okay, super healthy Mexican? Or super healthy Thai? I mean, Mexican food is not in general very healthy, obviously. Oh, the ribs. Oh yes, the ribs. They were awesome. They were very healthy.
Got this. You're way ahead.
Everything about those ribs, I mean, just wow. Oh, well, ouch. Ouch! And he hit my poison with his divine shield. That's very annoying. Oh well. Weekend cheat days today. Okay, so I hear LMTC that you're rooting for Mexican food. Okay, we tied. Alright, it's a battle for first place. Alright, so... let's see. I'm not sure what I want to do here. Alright, I'll make a choice. But... oh, I think Mexican food would be best. I'm feeling like Mexican food. And I am all for indulging in some nachos because I got a lot of training. Yeah, I don't have time to do more ribs. I was streaming. Those ribs took like 8 hours plus the previous night's prep to get the meat perfect. Otherwise, I'd be all for more ribs. I mean, those ribs were awesome. I could eat that again today. Next week, yes. Although I would like to try smoking something different. I need to prep. Like, I'm gonna smoke Thanksgiving turkey. That will be awesome. Smoked turkey. Yeah. I'm gonna have the lady is gonna come to spray, and I'm gonna have her spray underneath the smoker so that the ants just stay away. Well, that is a very large minion. Alright, this is going to go another turn. I mean, seriously? Wow.
Well, it's okay. We all hit some bumps.
Another tie. I don't even know what to do with this. I mean, I need more imp mamas. I love that they use the level up sound from World of Warcraft for Hearthstone when you use that hero power. Ah, Larg. So Old Dog went and dispelled all the ants this morning by cleaning up any last remnants of barbecue sauce that fell on the floor. Alright, so I'm gonna do this. Rearrange this. I think that'll maybe change the tempo slightly.
Let's see if you can stay on top.
Ouchie. Still ouchie. Ouchie some more. Ouchie with a kick. Kind of like Spider-Man. Wow. Alright, he's got us this time. There we go. Alright, perfect. So we just got 257 points. I'm gonna take a quick break so that we can order supper because I would like to eat tonight and I'm getting very hungry. So let me be right back and we'll finish off the last hour strong while we wait for food to get here. Definitely need sound. There we go. The sound is back. All right. Boy, there was a lot of activity that just went on here in the Smurf household. We got food ordered. We fed dogs. We did not feed horses and check on the quail and the chickens, but we are in the final stretch. So let's cue it up again. Thanks, LMTC. Greatly appreciated. So much activity. Oh my gosh. This last hour of the 15-hour memorial stream. I will say, I do drink a lot of liquids being in Arizona. Not just wine, because I love my wine, but I drink constantly on the water. But since I haven't been outside in the Arizona elements and obviously sweating out half of those liquids, I have found, let's see, not 16 or 14? Huh? I don't get it. So, since I'm not outside expelling all the liquids, I have had to go to the bathroom more frequently today than I am accustomed to. Let's do Dino-Tainer Brawn. Oh, that would have been good if I looked and saw that there were no Murlocs.
Seven fresh opponents. Are you ready?
Alright. So, battle cries. Have a battle cry. Battle cry, add a gold coin to your hand, sure.
That one might make all the difference.
I would like to have the Micro Mummy, but there's no synergy. Let's just wing it and see what else we get. What does the game say we need to play? Old Dog says, "Happy, you fed us! Yay!"
Battle, friend.
Old Dog is happy. The world is good.
Oh, it's okay. We all hit some
Alright,
bumps now and then.
so... Going against Patches, and he has one pirate. Spin. Or level, and then spin with the gold. Alright, I'm seeing mechs, so I'm gonna save that, and we're going to gear towards mechs. I made a mistake. I should have played Pyramid because there were no Murlocs, which is the biggest one for Braun.
Have a good battle, friend. The battle is
Okay.
really raging out there.
Could go. Reborn and Death Rat. We're going to do this. Tell him. Get 2 mechs. Let me do the full uptime report. 14 hours, 4 minutes, and 3 seconds.
You are not out of
Alright, so I remember watching the sunrise at 4 a.m. I am super stoked to have made it to this point. This has been phenomenal. I now have a new respect for all those telethon things that they used to do on TV, where you'd see the same person just online constantly, like 24 hours. Yeah, it's difficult. It is not an easy thing to do. Need a battle cry. So we'll get Braun. Might as well get another beast since we have them. Jerry Lewis Telethon. That was what it was for muscular dystrophy. And my father used to watch those. Now, I will never understand why he watched the telethons. I mean, it's not like we were big supporters of muscular dystrophy or anything. They did have some good musical acts and it was interesting. Maybe it was just, it was the precursor to streaming where people would be online all together and you knew that they had people engaged. I think it was that engagement because my father was also a very social person. So maybe that's just one idea. Oh noes. Oh noes. Yes, I am going to consider that. I will try to do a 24-hour stream. I just have to figure out how to, like, I am worried that I would try to do a 24-hour stream and I would fall asleep.
Nice work out there. Keep
So,
up the pressure.
yeah, that's gonna be tough. But thanks for sticking around, Onos. I really appreciate it. We've now got 54 minutes left. Thanks, LMTC. Alright, so I'm going to freeze. Of these that have battle cry. Not really. My friend did 29.5 this weekend. He looks dead. Oh. Yeah, that is tough. I will say 15 has been, it's been difficult. I think right around the 12-hour mark is when I started to really feel fatigued. And I think it would be easier if my eyes weren't as scratchy from my allergies. I mean, just kind of like what you mentioned, there's so much pollen in the air and I took a really long ride yesterday and my eyes were already red.
Good battle, friend.
So Taze and Blobby are insane. They both did over 36 hours a few times. Oh my god, yeah. I've seen some of Blobby's streams that went over 36 hours. 1 hour to go. Less than 1 hour. 53 minutes. So it'll be my first attempt at something like this. And I will definitely repeat it. I have really enjoyed this. I love the engagement that you get. You guys have been fabulous. I feel really energized, even though it's been quite a while. And I'll also make sure that I do some more prep for the next time I do something like this. So that we have, I didn't have the different scenes set up. So I wanted to do the Space Invaders. But then I realized that I can't screen share with this scene. And if I close down my scene, it's going to close off my stream. So that did not work out as I had hoped. So I will do something like this in the future. Maybe I'll do another one on my dad's birthday. And then I can try again and do a little more preparation. Need another battle cry. Do I need to have battle cry? Yes, that one does. Let's freeze it so I can get a battle cry. Played more Hearthstone today than usual. Did Mercs, Battlegrounds, and Duels. Okay, cool. And you won a game. That was awesome.
Have a good battle, friend.
All right, we won. Alright, so we need this one for the battle cry. Yay, battle cry. Go to spin. So I do want the leaper. No battle cry. Battle cry. Say that.
You're down a minion and up a goal.
Battle cry. Oops. Kind of jumped the gun there. Battle cry. Or. Alright, so play him. Battle cry. No battle cry. Alright.
Don't tell the others. I'm rooting for you.
Make you cry. Ouch. Well. Kind of rude. Okay, so by the way, we finally decided supper tonight is going to be Mexican food, which should be phenomenally yummy. Going to splurge for nachos and some tacos. Always yummy. And you heard EA is up for sale. Another big game studio. Yeah. So the deal for Blizzard is still being it's still under like SEC investigation. So it won't be finalized until 2023. So it is very likely that it may not go through. But that'll be the end of Blizzard as we know it, unfortunately. Friendly Beast. Battle Cry.
That's what I would have picked.
Yeah. While I'm sad, I'm not. It is what it is. Alright, double battle cries.
Defensive systems online.
Let's see, what have we got? I want to do the Deflectobot. Let's hope it doesn't go through. Yeah, it would really put Microsoft as another gaming company in a very peculiar position if they do acquire Blizzard.
Good battle, friend.
I'm gonna be curious to just see the reports that come out in regards to that acquisition as to what their justification is for or against. Microsoft is a what gaming company? If you're saying they're a crappy gaming company, I would agree. Oh, thank you. Yeah, that's what I thought. You're still trying to get me to cuss on stream, and I'm not going to do it.
Welcome back. How's it going out there?
Oh, buy first. I mean, it's not like I'm against cussing. I just don't want to do it on stream.
Defensive systems online.
I kind of feel like I'm a news reporter and, you know, maybe I'm being broadcast or something, and I would never want to have some clip where I said something bad come back and haunt me. So I just try to use good language. Thanks, LMTC. Yes. Everyone should have gotten lots of cactus points today. So hope you can redeem them. I'll try to come up with some more fun things to put into the little award points. I think I have a subscription one there, but to be honest, if anyone has that many points, I don't even know how to redeem it, so I'm gonna have to do a little digging. But I was able to fix the uptime, so I have a new command as of today. So here we are, 14 hours, 15 minutes, and 32 seconds. And I'm still just as enthused about streaming as I was 14 hours, 15 minutes, and 32 seconds ago. Though I'm not as mentally sharp as I was then. I mean, I give credit to people that play tournaments in the off hours where it's not like where you have to disrupt your sleep schedule to play a tournament. Kudos all the way to you. I mean, seriously, if you're playing in the China or the Asia regions and you have to get up at 3 in the morning and compete, oh my god, I have tons of respect for you now. Anybody that's done that.
I like where you're going with this.
Alright, we need another battle cry. I do like this death rattle. Leroy the Reckless. I think I'm gonna buy him just cuz.
I didn't like that one either. Here's a gold.
So let's see. Food is going to be on time, 10 minutes late. Okay, so that's good. So hang on. What, it's going to be 10 minutes early? I stayed awake 72 hours in a row at Gen Con, Wisconsin to make my MTG tourney. Oh, Magic the Gathering tourney. Yeah, seriously. If you can compete after that, I mean, sleep is just critical to, you know, good competitive play. I don't know how people can compete with no sleep. Just not gonna happen for me. I will admit. I really need my sleep. Didn't make it to top 8. Oh, ouchie. Now, I will say another thing that's also critical is I would very much like to just take a long shower and not be worried about using up all the water in the reserve tank. And I am not going to be able to do that.
You can win this thing.
I still need to contact work and rearrange my schedule because I don't think... Honestly, just shower fast and pretend it didn't happen. Oh yeah, I probably will. Yeah, it is. The tank was set up for this particular property. If they wanted a tank, they should have set up a tank. And honestly, if the pump doesn't get replaced tomorrow and we have to bring in water, we'll bring in water. And everybody will have enough to get us through until it's fixed. I just hope that doesn't mean we have to drill further, because that will take longer, obviously.
That's what I would have picked.
Oh yeah, I will. But I'll probably get supper first. And then crash. Let's see. What do I want to do here? Alright, he's... Our tank. Right, so shower. Gotcha. Of course, yes. I will. I will feel so much better when I can relax. I'll feed the horses. Obviously the horses are going to be a little upset that I'm feeding them late. I managed to feed the puppers real quick, so they're kind of chill for the night. They got taken care of. We have food coming for us, so we'll have wonderful Mexican food. Not near as good as the ribs from last night. Those ribs were incredible. Oh, ouchie! I'm gonna lose by 1. They're horses, so they will forget as soon as they have food. Of course. Oh, which, speaking of, I almost forgot to, I gotta pay the guy a second time for the feed. So Alun, what are you doing to the bed? Puppy suddenly just went ballistic on the bed. Hey, 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 hey! Alun! Stop digging! Alright. Puppy drama. Alright, so we're going against the dead dude. Right. Oh, that's some good beast dynamics there. I'm just gonna freeze that. I might be able to do something. Yeah, and now she was going after the bed, and now she's laying off half off the bed again. So I got her and Old Dog on camera now. Yeah, it's a never-ending story with them.
Keep up the momentum, friend. Your minions really pulled their weight.
Alright, so... Wow, we could do that. A triple brawn. That would be unusual. So how can he give Reborn twice? Will I get to play it twice? So we're in the top 3. I didn't even look over at the standings. That's awesome. So LMTC, did I tell you about the scorpion that was in the laundry room this morning? Little miniature scorpion right where I was about to step. And then I couldn't find the dustpans and, you know, to be able to... Okay, good. Yeah. Wasn't exactly what I was hoping for this morning, but I got through it. Yes, I did. I did, actually. I got the dustpan with the broom, and when I started to sweep it up, it got lively again, and I was like, oh, and there was one when I went out to take care of the quail. There was a very alive one. It was under the feed tub for the quail. Very alive. I did battle with the rake, so he's dead. So Scorpion just trying to help kill smaller bugs. Okay. Yeah, no thank you. They can go kill smaller bugs outside of my house. Thank you very much. Not in the house. It's on the ground floor, and that's 20 feet away from where I was walking with my bare feet in my office. No, just say no to scorpions. Yes, yes, yes. Circle of life. I understand. So I will personally store up a few scorpions and send them your way, Onos. We have enough of them here. I prefer my method. Squash, squash, squash. Flush it down the toilet. At least while the toilets still work, we have water. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's like a nightmare. Oh my gosh. We have an accord. Oh my gosh, if they don't fix the pump tomorrow, I mean seriously, I stopped using the dishwasher. I'm not putting things through the washing machine. Being very, very restrained on showers. At least we have the holding tank and we have some water, but I thought it was like 6,000 gallons, but it's not. It's more like 1,500 gallons. And I can already see that it's halfway empty when he pulled the top off the tank. So they better be able to fix it tomorrow, or we are seriously... Oh, there goes Puppers. She's it's moving the bed again. Oh my gosh. What are you doing? I moved the bed back so that you'd be on camera. Nope, 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 nope. Nope, that's far enough. Don't do it. Alright, let's try one more game. I think we can squeeze one more in before end of stream. Alright, so any storm coil used to be really good, but I'm gonna take... Let's see. I think that Cariel Romaine is going to be better, because without her buddy, Innie is just no longer any good. And it's such a bummer, because she's so good in-game. But I think I'm gonna take Cariel Rome. Dropped my pen.
Hey, my favorite commander is back. Ready to get started?
Oh. Alright. What have I got? So let's get the Micro Mummy. Obviously, I love playing mechs. Mechs are good. Mechs and elementals. Those are my wins. I swear I've heard this song probably 4 times today.
Have a good battle, friend.
And every time it still gets me back and forth. Something about the beat.
Rough battle. Pick yourself back up and turn
Alright,
around.
I'm going to level and let it ride. Alright, my cords are all tangled. Oh, and I'm getting kind of loopy. Getting tired. I can make it. 29 minutes more.
Welcome back. How's it
Alright,
going out
so there are no mechs.
there?
There we
ahead
go, we
and
got another mech.
recruits.
We can use the leaper, so I'm going to save for that and use my hero power. So I'm gonna go... No, I'm not gonna flip-flop. Alright, so all mechs. Going against Ysera. Oh, it's Russian. So, Mini Teen Tan. Mini Teen Tan. I can read it. My Russian studies are paying off.
I think you can win this thing.
Wow.
Your minions really pulled their weight.
That's what it says to me too, just saying. Okay, I'll go back to that in just a second and show why it's significant. So. Then. I'll freeze that. And that. There we go. Okay, so if you look at it, why would you say that that is what it looks like to you? How would you know that that sound is an E sound? So me, ni. The H is an N. Me, ni. Teen, tan. And the H is actually an N sound. So mini teen tan. I mean, I suppose you could guess at the sounds, but knowing what the letters actually, the sounds that they are actually, you know, representing? Because it's the natural sound your mouth makes after that letter. Well, I could see that for Korean because that's how Hangul was actually formulated or developed, was the sounds were, the letters were made, the script was made based on the position of your tongue in your mouth when you're speaking it. So that applies to Hangul for Korean, but not so much for Cyrillic letters in Russian. I'm gonna sell this because I don't want him getting buffed from her hero power. I don't know. I'm just happy to see some Russian names and being able to read them. I can make the sound of M. 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 Sound you make as you release from it is me. Oh, I see where you're going with it. Alright, I have definitely heard this song at least 3 times today.
Let's see if you can stay on top.
So Game Chops is on repetition, and yeah, I think I'm gonna pick another thing for stream tomorrow. Alright, another win. Yay!
Your minions
Alright,
really
so
pulled
we
their
have a
weight.
triple. level so we get something from... You can't hear the song I'm talking about? Is it not coming through on stream? Here, I just turned it up a little bit. Got it all so far as I can tell. Well, I know that some people in chat said that they could hear it earlier today, so I'm surprised that you're not hearing it. Yeah, it's a string instrument. It's just a background noise from Game Chops that I put on. Just a little mix. Yeah, I just put it on very low in the background. But with my headphones, I hear it a lot more than I should probably balance it out a bit more for stream. I turned it up a bit now, but I didn't want it to ever overpower my voice, so it's very likely that I could do a little adjustments. I'll have to listen to parts of the stream and just see how it was. You always have to keep tweaking this to make sure that it's like the optimal stream. My settings are always having to change. Just like when I had to get the new mic and the new computer and set it up.
You're good at this.
And the new scenes. I love my Smurf scenes. They're so much fun. Alright, so I'll do this. Spin. Mac, let's do that and we'll save. Yeah, I always go back and watch my streams and just listen to make sure that my voice is okay, the video is okay, the music's good. Do this. Since I turned up the sound, I need to change the mixing on my headphones. Otherwise, it's going to be too loud. Can't hear myself think. FF's... FF... Is that a T or an F? Yeah, it is. It should be super quiet. I only wanted background music. Final Fantasy VII. Gotcha. Okay.
Let's see if you can stay on top.
So let's do this. So I'm gonna take the Mechano tank and spin. We're in first place. Oh, there's a triple. Yay.
It's good to get some
Do
minions
this,
in play.
and let's do the Harvest Golem just temporarily. Do him.
Welcome to the Rust Bolt Resistance.
Ugh. Sell him so I can hero power. Alright, not too bad. See how we hold out. We're going against... Oh, she's gonna have tons of mechs. They'll have +1/+1. going to put him over there so we get the first avenge as quickly as possible.
Let's see if you can stay on top.
That's a lot of mechs. Oh my gosh. And he right off the bat gets my avenge. Seriously bad trades. Or my, yeah. There we go. Take him out. Go mechs. Lucky trades. Yay. Alright, we only lost by 1. That's not too bad.
The battle is really
All right.
raging out there.
Alright, so I definitely want to have him. That. Buff. 6 to 9 minutes on food. Okay. We're good. It'll probably time out just about right. Because we've got 18 minutes left. Oh, what? It dropped to 5 to 8 minutes on food? That was quick. Well, you're gonna have to get the door, and there's like a whole bunch of those little zippy ants. So if you can watch for when he gets here so they don't set it on the ground, that would be disgusting. I had a couple of deliveries where they like set it on the ground and there were ants all over it. So hopefully they'll not do that. I promise I'll eat in front of you. All good, all good. I am just as hungry. Alright, we're coming to the end of my memorial stream for my father. So, for anyone that's listening in, I did this in honor of my wonderful father, who inspired me to go into engineering, go into gaming.
Stay on top.
All of those wonderful things that he did. So I started this morning at 4 a.m. We're now approaching 7 p.m. So we got a total of 7 p.m. Oh my gosh, I'm tired. Math is difficult right now. But in honor of him, I decided to stream for 15 hours straight. 1 hour for every year that he has been gone. He was a gamer.
The battle is really raging
He was a
out there.
car enthusiast. Just all around wonderful person. Great person to I'm proud to call him father.
Go ahead and hire one of these recruits.
Alright, we need more mechs. Oh, thank you, Onos. Oh my gosh, that just makes me feel so good. You guys have been awesome. I can't believe you've been here all day. You have actually been here for almost the entire stream. On and off, of course. But the people that I've met on stream after doing this are just the best. So I love you all. It's been wonderful. Thank you, LMTC. I mean, I love you the most, obviously. It's just... this has been so incredible. I mean, the puppies have supported me on this. My partner, LMTC. My wonderful crowd of people. My network on Twitch. No, this is... I am so glad I did this. I'm going to be in tears. Oh my gosh. I mean, it just makes me feel so happy to do this. Even though I spelled your name wrong.
I think you can win this
Yep,
thing.
don't forget, AZ. I'm very proud of being from Arizona. So we're almost there. 14 minutes and 40 seconds. 49 seconds. We'll have done a 15-hour stream. The stream that almost didn't happen because I set my alarm for the wrong time. Such a noob mistake. Oops. But this has been an incredible day. I'm just super stoked. Very excited to have been able to do this. Now, granted, I did have to go to EU. So LMTC just let me know that the food was here, but I've got 14 minutes left to go, so I'm going to stick it out. Alright, we're going to sell him. I'm going to buy him.
I like where you're going with this.
It should time out just perfectly that I can go have food after. Alright, so first let's see what else we get. So we'll buff the mechs.
That one might make all the difference.
I'm gonna spin. Play the Mechano egg. My opponent did a 34 spell Yogg, and now he has a 36 spell Yogg. Oh my gosh, you're doing duels. I'm gonna have to try duels. I haven't played a lot of duels. I played some arena. I had a lot of success in arena. All right. All right, let's see. Duels is clown fiesta. Yeah, I could see that.
Gunning for you. Watch out.
Mrs. what? Nuke? Ugh. I don't know, that name could be a little weird. Alright, so we're going to lose that round, but that's okay. Down 11. Where's everybody else at? Alright, we're in second place, so we can still
How's it going out there?
pull this off. So right now, I really need to buff my minions.
Go ahead and hire one of these recruits.
Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. We're gonna get rid of him because he's not really giving us any benefit. We're gonna get the defender. We're gonna give some mechs some on. I'm gonna leave him on board, but no, I need the buff. My run ended at 9-3 with Mech Mage. Yeah. Mech Mage is still pretty strong, even in the new meta. Alright, let's see what happens here. Of course, LMTC is in there eating the wonderful Mexican food. I've still got 10 minutes left. My stomach is growling. I am very hungry. All I had was a little bit of leftover ribs. Now, granted, the ribs are still phenomenal the second day, but that's not a lot of food. So definitely hungry, ready for supper. I think even Old Dog has finally, he's like, hey, I smell the food. I want to go get to the food. Puppers, of course, is just kind of content to lay in the bed. Like, okay. That's all we're doing. So an amalgam with 1 health is fine. Saying 79% win chance. Oh my gosh, so I've streamed long enough that my friends in Australia are now back online. So the Warwick is back online. We went through a whole night time in Australia.
Your minions really pulled their weight.
Alright, so we're in top 5. Going against Ysera again. Let's see, what have we got? But we don't really have anything. Alright, I'll take another Deflectobot. Go ahead and use Hero Power. That's already golden. Sold that. Really need a Grease Bot. A Grease Bot would be awesome. Alright, let's do this.
My shield for Argus.
Alright. So there's not a lot of synergy in this board, but I mean, it should be enough to carry us through. So we've got Mini Tintan. Mini Tintan. Let's see. Rest in peace, Heart Queen's sleep schedule. Is posting photos at 2 a.m. in England. Oh my gosh, is she in London now? I got the dates all cattywampus. Oh my gosh. That is so... Oh, I feels for her. The first time in London, my sleep schedule was so bad. I did not adjust well to jet lag. Oh, I feel for her. Is she supposed to stream tomorrow morning, Onos? I want to make sure that I can catch her stream. And then I know she has a heart-to-heart coming up during the week. So I will definitely follow and watch it. She visited Sweet Yam, Nina, Jonbury, and Baby Bear. Okay. That's awesome. So it's definitely the Grand Tour. I thought she got the laptop fixed after what happened in Florida.
Nice work out there.
Or did she not get a replacement? This will be good with the bots. Need a grease bot. Razor is sending her a new one eventually. Oh, that really sucks. Did they ever figure out like what happened to it? Why it just suddenly decided to like not work when she needed it to work? That is very annoying. Alright, we're in the countdown, guys. 5 minutes left. I will admit, I can smell the nachos. They're outside. They're calling to me. It's ready for supper.
Keep up the momentum.
Oh, I can really smell the nachos. So can Old Dog. He's sitting there panting. He's just like, hey, there's food and you should be getting here for supper. Crazy members, the time has come. Thank you. Yes, I have made it. I started at 4 a.m. this morning and I'm going till 7 p.m. and I will admit that I am very tired. This has been a phenomenal— oh my gosh. Okay, seriously, like right at the amount of health. Oh, I got you, Onos. So, but I still got 3rd place, so this wasn't too bad for EU servers. Alright, well I can't go yet. I've got a few more minutes, so let me just wrap up. I'm not going to start another game, obviously, because I will not finish it. Alright, let's see the exact uptime. So we have 14 hours, 57 minutes, and 2 seconds. I have got to make exactly 15 hours in honor of my father. So, yes. So just reading what you said, yes, I trust Asus. Acer is okay. I have mixed feelings on MSI. MSI, the new computer I have is MSI. I selected it specifically for my friend, not for me. But then she gave it to me, so I'm like, okay, well, it's a gaming system, and my other computer is not reliable, which was an i7 custom build, or an i9 custom build system that I used for my photography work. So, yeah, it's okay. I do not like Razer computers, so, yes, it's a countdown. Let's go. And oh my gosh. I will admit I am tired. Thank you so much, Venom. That is just so incredible. I am honored that you guys have stuck it out. I mean, Onos, Venom, you two have been here throughout the stream. We've got new follows, new subscribers. This has been so much fun. Let's see. You don't like gaming laptops? No, neither do I. I don't either. I don't even like gaming. I don't like playing Hearthstone on my iPad because it doesn't sync correctly and it constantly crashes. So you have liquid cooling for your PC. I was considering that when I was playing first-person shooters, but now since I'm only playing like Hearthstone and strategic games, there's no need to get that amount of cooling for a system, so I no longer am doing that. I considered a custom-built system if I could game, and if I get back the stuff touchers, if they start working correctly, and I can play first-person shooters again, then I will go back and build a custom gaming system with all of the liquid cooling. But definitely not necessary for now. Alright, it's the countdown. We're at 14 hours, 59 minutes, and 41 seconds. So, I am going to go ahead. I think it's safe to say that I can do the ending soon scene. Oh my gosh, I have made it. It is exactly 15 hours. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for joining. And I'm going to end stream and go have some nachos. Yay. Thank you all.